right, so we got Isaac, and we have AMC. Who's AMC? Hey, tell me, can you hear me okay? Aiden, all right. I should have known. AMC. What's the M stand for, Aiden? Does the M in your AMC, does that stand for Max? Aiden Max Castillo. Maximum. All right. I'll respect that. You remember what my middle name is? I think you know it. Or I think you guessed it. I don't know if I ever confirmed it. Trying to throw something away, and I missed. Trash cans behind me. Hey, guys, do me a favor. In a minute and... Oh, I'm already live? What the heck? It's not time yet. Oh, that's the... Never mind. I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm still getting used to this format, so I'm going to babble a lot, but I'll officially get started in about a minute, I guess. I got 1:28. I said 1:30. Oh, you remember? Sure, you can share. Go ahead. I mean, nobody's here yet. You might as well share. It'll be me, you, and Isaac's secret. If, in fact, you actually know my middle name, which I doubt. Here comes my son, Jack. He just combed his hair and got ready for his day, and it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Come here, Jack, and say hi.
Hi.
Well, get over here so they can see you, man. Come here.
Dad.
He's got an A&M shirt on.
All right, I'm going to go. Bye.
Yeah, it's Jacob. You got it. When I was in radio way back in a former life, I was, and I probably told you this story, Aiden, I was Keith Jacobs. Because right before I was going to go on the air for the first time ever in this radio job, the guy who had trained me said, "What name are you going to use?" And I hadn't even thought about, a radio name. So I was just going to go on as myself. And he says, "Nah, you don't want that. You need something better. Keith Pierto just doesn't have a ring to it." He said, "What's your middle name?" I said, "Jacob." He goes, "You're Keith Jacobs." Oh, okay. Cool. The famous Keith Jacobs. Hey, while we're sitting here waiting for the next few seconds to pass before I officially start, I want to do a real quick audio test, because right now you're hearing me. What I want to know is the sound you're getting right now better or worse than this sound? As I'm wearing these headphones. These are my fancy Bose headphones that my sister gave me. Of course, they have the microphone built in. And now I'm using the audio straight off of the computer. So do you like this audio better, or did you like the headphone audio better? And this is for Aiden and Jacob. I see we got four more people joined. Hi, everybody. We're getting ready to officially start here. I'm just working out some technical issues on my end. But I need somebody to tell me whether I sound better with the audio like this, and I'm just using my computer's audio, or when I plug in my fancy headphones, does it sound better like this? Not too much of a difference, says AMC. Okay. Well, I don't know if I really like wearing these headphones. I mean, I do feel like I'm back in my old DJ days with these on. Let me straighten my hat out. All right, y'all see my history shirt. I'm ready to talk some history. We're up to 6 people. Awesome. And this was the second time that I've tried this today. So the first time, which was back at 12:30, I asked my 8th graders to join me like I've asked you to join me on this YouTube streaming. largely so I can test out the technology. If this coronavirus keeps going and we end up with no school the rest of the year, this may be the way that, you and I get to communicate, and I can feel like I'm doing something to earn a paycheck besides just twiddling my thumbs at home. What's great about this is you can chat. And so Aiden's been doing that quite a bit. Isaac's on here. He's chatting away. And I can ignore you, which is great. Nobody can interrupt me. I just get to keep on talking, I don't have to tell Des to go sit down in his chair. I don't have to tell Elisha to stop saluting Aiden from across the room. None of that is happening right now. This is the greatest thing ever in education for me. Anyway, thanks for coming on here and putting up with this whole coronavirus thing and waiting around to find out how are we going to do this. This may be how we do this. Me talking to you and you jumping in on the chat. By the way, feel free to type in chats, but let's remember this is school, so we're keeping this school appropriate. I've also sent out the link to this chat to your parents. And as far as I'm concerned, they're welcome to join us on here. They can always weigh in on the chat, or they can sit in for you if you can't make it, hear what I got to say, and then pass it on to you later. From my end, I get to see how long I've been going. Looks like I've been going for about 3 or 4 minutes. I actually got on live a little bit before that just to test out audio and stuff. The other thing I see on my end, besides myself and the screen, is I see how many people have joined. So there's 9 of us. Now there's 8. Somebody just left me. I feel insulted. There are 3 main things that I wanted to communicate to you, and I decided to try this out as a way of doing it rather than just emailing everybody, because, like I said, I may try to use some video streaming to communicate. Number 1, and I know you've all missed this, so I want to make school as normal as possible in the virtual world. You've missed this. On this day in history. Is that backwards? Yeah, that's better. On this day in history, it was in 2003 on this day, March 19th, when the Iraq War started. And this is in response to 9/11, but also to intelligence that George Bush was getting that Iraq was housing weapons of mass destruction, which became known as WMDs. Turns out they really didn't have weapons of mass destruction, but nonetheless, Iraq was housing terrorists, allowing them to live inside the boundaries of Iraq, among other things, and Saddam Hussein was generally a bad guy. So the Iraq War started, and I believe the Iraq War, or is it the Afghanistan War? Longest war in American history. So that's a good little fact to start off with. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to cover with you. The second thing of 3 is this. Hey, stop saluting there. I see that. The second thing I wanted to address with you guys is the Google Classroom /portal. We're going to use it a lot. The district came out and basically told us teachers this morning in a video stream, very much like this one that I'm doing, is that they want us to use Google Classroom. As far as what we teach, we're still sticking to the curriculum. I mean, we teachers know what it is that you're supposed to know, whether you're in the classroom or whether you're at home in a virtual one. And right now, we're supposed to be learning the causes of the Civil War. We're learning it from a Texas perspective. So largely what you're going to be learning is the Civil War, much like you'll learn it next year in U.S. history. The slight difference is going to be there are a few things going on in Texas, specifically with our governor, Sam Houston, who completely disagreed with what the South was doing when they decided to secede. And they end up firing him from the governorship for that. The other big thing is the battles that occur. There were some battles that occur in Texas. These are not the famous battles. We've heard of maybe Gettysburg. We've heard of Appomattox Courthouse or Fort Sumter. But, nobody's really ever heard about the Battle of Galveston. But it was kind of a big deal. And so we'll be talking a little bit about the Texas perspective and learning some Civil War stuff. So we're going to start with the causes of the Civil War, what made it happen. We know slavery is the obvious answer and definitely a good answer. So we're going to use the portal a lot. And so you need to be comfortable accessing that from home. You have to be logged into your Google account to do that. Most of you know how to do that. However, I did send your parents kind of a step-by-step on making sure you can access the NISD portal and your Google from there. The portal is important because they put several things there. One of them is brand new, and it's called Access Distance Learning. The district put that there. They put in about 6 kind of generic assignments that go with the causes of the Civil War. When you go to Access Distance Learning, and you can do that now while you're listening to me if you want to open up another tab. You open up that button, you're going to see all the subjects and grade levels, and then the things that the district has posted that should correspond to what you're supposed to be learning. For 7th grade social studies, it's the causes of the Civil War. I've looked at what they put on there, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's largely some reading material, some videos, both of which I plan to use, whether I use their stuff or my own. We'll see. And the thing I didn't care for was some of the stuff that they have you doing. I think it's going to be tough for some of us to be able to print out a document. It might be tough for some of us to be able to scan in completed work to email it or send it to me. I mean, you could take pictures and stuff. Most of you have phones. So at the beginning anyway, I'm going to try to limit how much paper pencil stuff you're doing. I'm going to try to keep everything completely digital. So you'll see some brain pop stuff coming your way. You're going to see some videos from Discovery Learning, which is in your portal. And the first thing I'm going to assign you, which is also in that portal, is the online textbook. I know you've missed it, as have I. So we're going to use it. I mean, the district paid big money for it. So the taxpayers, including your parents, expect you to use it to learn stuff. And it's a simple way for me to get you the curriculum in an organized fashion. It's already done. It's not the most exciting thing, but we're in a brave new world. So we're going to go ahead and start your first assignment in this new virtual world with Chapter 16, Lesson 1 in that online textbook. Now, I know that's not very exciting. As far as how I know you did the work, yes, there's a handout, but it's on a Google form. I basically made a Google form yesterday morning while you guys were sleeping in. I'm hard at work in the morning making you your first virtual assignment. And so it's a Google form. You could literally do the assessment on your phone, which I imagine most of you probably would. But you're definitely going to want to read. And if it was me doing this, I would want to read Chapter 16, Lesson 1, and then I would want to be able to answer the questions as I go. So that's going to be completely up to you. Anyway, the portal and your Google Classroom, kind of the lifelines between each other as we go forward. I will probably assign you some videos on YouTube. 100% imagine that. And then a website you and I have used for research called the Texas Handbook Online. That's a good one. So we'll probably use that if we do some kind of research on something. I'll probably have you use these online resources to be able to accomplish that. As far as what you're creating out of that, the Google form is the first thing we're going to do, just because it's easy. It's easy for you to do. It's easy for me to grade and see who's done it, who hasn't, that kind of thing. And then we'll go from there. So we're kind of starting out slow. All right. And that was kind of the first, the last thing I wanted to tell you is future videos like this one. This is good. I can see your chats going back and forth there. I know Isaac's got a question. I'll get to you in just a second, Isaac, and take questions from folks. We may do it this way. The only thing I don't like about this is I can't hear you, but I can see your chats, which is nice. The second thing I may try is Google Hangouts. They have a video feature, or we may do some kind of blogging back and forth, and you might have an assignment where you have to just log into Hangouts and you have to respond to a prompt that I've put there. And that might be the way we do this. A lot of college classes do that kind of thing. Students are assigned maybe a reading, and then they go on to the Hangout and they type in a response. They have to do an original response, and then they have to respond to 2 others in an academic manner. So that's kind of where we're at with this whole thing. Anyway, I wanted to keep this short. I'm looking at the time. It is, we've been doing this now 11 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go. But this is a good time for questions. So if you have a legitimate one, put it in the chat. Cadence, it looks like Candace. Cadence, thanks for the compliment. Miss you. All right, so far Isaac, Aiden, and Cadence have used the chat feature, which is awesome. And that's what it's there for. So if we do something like this, I promise you I won't be bugging you every day with live streaming, okay? But there may be some things that I want to explain to you or teach to you. You might even take notes, and then I'll throw a quiz at you. We're just kind of messing around with this and trying it out and seeing how it works, okay? So your first assignment is about to be posted into your Google Classroom. I'll probably take care of that. Let's see, it is 1:42. It should be in there within the next half hour, getting ready to post that, okay? And so you'll read the chapter and you'll answer the questions on the Google form, and we'll go from there. The due date for that, I was going to give you through the weekend, okay? Even though I want to move this thing along, but that'll give you a few days to get that taken care of, okay? All right, at this time, if nobody has any questions, if you do have a question, chat in real quick so I can answer it now, or just email me later. You can email me directly or email through the Google Classroom or send me something through Remind, okay? If you haven't signed up for Remind, send me an email and I'll get you that code, okay? That's going to be a good way to communicate. All right, guys. Hope everybody's staying healthy and safe. I know it gets boring at times, but I miss you guys. And talk to you soon. This is the end of the original Purito coronavirus video stream. See ya.